Real talk. I never thought I'd have to say this about a Rockstar game. No collector's edition at launch, no physical disc, nothing in a box. Just pick a digital edition and keep it moving. And I'm not even mad about the digital part. I'm mad because I went down a rabbit hole. GTA 4 Collector's Edition unboxing, Red Dead Redemption 2 Collector's Edition unboxing. And man, those things were like love letters to us. Rockstar put real thought and real craft into those. So the fact that we're launching the biggest game ever and that tradition is just gone, yeah, it stings a little. Now, is it actually gone forever? That's what I want to get into today. So, real quick, for anybody who missed the news, I don't know who missed this news, but we always got to recap. Rockstar announced the GTA 6 editions, and it was pretty much standard and ultimate. That's it. Digital only at launch, no physical, no collectors, done. And the internet does what the internet does. People lost their mind. I'm raising my hand over here. I was part of that crowd. Within like 24 hours, you had leaks popping up about a physical disc coming in December and a collector's edition somewhere down the road. Now, I'm not touching those leaks because with this game specifically, the ratio of real information to people just making stuff up is not good. And even when people have legitimate information, they twist it to come to whatever conclusions they want. What I do want to talk about is if any of this is actually realistic for anything that has quote fingers actually been reported and what a path forward even looks like. Because here's the thing people keep skipping over in this conversation. Rockstar has always gone hard on collector's editions. This isn't some company that has half steps physical releases. GTA 4 had the lockbox, the art book, the Rockstar keychain, the Duffy, the duffel bag. And it felt like you'd actually keep all of that. Red Dead Redemption Collector's Edition, Red Dead 2, off the chain. Rockstar put genuine creative energy into all of it. You could tell someone actually cared about what went in that box. And that's what makes this moment weird because you're talking about a studio with one of the most creative track records in gaming history, launching the most anticipated game ever made, and there's no collector's edition on the table at launch. That's not normal for them, which tells me this was a very deliberate decision. They didn't forget. They chose this. And the question is why? And I actually have some theories on that. Let's talk about the physical disc first, because I think the reasoning there is just pretty straightforward once you think about it. Leak prevention is the obvious one. You keep the game off physical media, you eliminate a whole category of risks. No warehouse leaks, no early copies floating around on eBay 3 weeks before launch, no footage of the first hour spreading everywhere. You know TikTok ain't taking that down before the game drops. But there's also a money angle people aren't talking about. Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive have spent nearly, or actually 13 years watching exactly what happens when people go digital. GTA Online has been printing money off shark cards. Pure digital revenue, no manufacturing costs, no retail splits, no logistics. They know what the margins look like on digital versus physical. And now you've got a new generation of players who never bought a disc in their life. They grew up on Game Pass, PS Plus, digital storefronts. For them, a physical copy isn't a preference. It's kind of like a foreign concept. Like they think like, why would somebody actually want that? So when Rockstar looks at the math, cost of manufacturing, shipping, retail partnerships, potential leaks versus just selling you a digital edition and keeping a full margin, I think the numbers told them to go digital only, at least for now. Does that make it easier to accept for us fans, people like me? Not really, but it makes sense. Now, here's where I want to be fair to the people who are genuinely upset about this, right? I'm one of y'all. Y'all are my people because I don't think the frustration is unreasonable. There's a specific type of GTA fan, and I put myself into that category, who have been buying these games since they came out in a box with the map, a physical map that you unfolded, you looked at, and you put on your wall. That's a whole relationship with how games used to feel. And collector's edition for a lot of people aren't just about having stuff, right? They're marking a moment, having something that says, I was here when this game dropped. I stood in line. It was a moment. You can't put a digital edition on a shelf. You can't hand it to somebody years from now and say, this is what it felt like when GTA 6 came out. I throw on my Los Santos hat, bring my money bag out, and I'm like, this is GTA 5. And I think what hurts the most is that Rockstar, of all studios, a studio that has always understood that culture, seemingly walked away from that this time around. But here's what I keep coming back to. This is the end all be all for me. On November 19th, when the game is actually in people's hands, let me get dramatic for a moment, and people just out here living in Leonida, is the disc conversation going to be discussed? The answer is probably not. Really, the answer is no. I'm going to be a Leonida resident trying to stay out of prison. That's the only thing that's going to be concerning me. The game is going to do what GTA games do. Okay, so let's get back to the collector's edition, because this is the conversation I actually want to have. I'm trying to map out a realistic path, and it keeps kind of falling apart on me. Online launch, no, you're not building a physical collector's package around servers going live. That doesn't work. That really doesn't make a lick of sense. PC release, look, PC gamers are the most digital first audience in gaming because they have to be. Steam has essentially made the concept of a PC disc feel like something from history class. You're not selling a collector's box set to that crowd. The only path that actually makes sense to me is a game of the year release or something equivalent. I don't know what they would title it. Some milestone, some kind of retrospective physical edition that drops after the game has been out long enough to actually know what it is. And here's what actually excites me about this theory. This is a little exciting for me. Right now, before the game is out, Rockstar's guessing. They guess with all the other past collector's edition they did hit. They know that what they made, and they know the theme of what they made. They're guessing on which characters are going to hit, though. They're guessing what moments people are going to talk about. They're guessing what the culture is actually going to latch on to. A game of the year or whatever the edition is, collector's edition, you're not guessing anymore. You know if Jason and Lucia resonated or not. You know which missions people are still talking about. You know what the fan base made iconic. And now you could build something around that, real art, something that actually reflects the game's legacy instead of just anticipating it. That collector's edition would be different. And honestly, it would probably be better. So I'm still holding hope for a dope collector's edition. So let me just wrap it up. Let me just wrap it up with this, with where I actually stand on everything. Physical disc in December, I don't see it, not a chance. The bad press alone from people who already went digital would outweigh whatever they gain. Rockstar's too calculated for that move. I just know. Collector's edition at launch, that ship has sailed, and I think we all know it. They're not about to roll out a collector's edition after we already purchased the game. But more editions overall, that's guaranteed. Rockstar and Take-Two have already shown us the playbook, the Last of Us playbook. They are going to find every possible way to sell you this game. That is not speculation. That's just their track record. The real question is whether the fans who wanted something physical and tangible at launch are going to feel satisfied eventually. And I think the answer to that depends entirely on what Rockstar actually delivers down the road, but they got a track record of delivering, and I still have faith in them. If they come back with something creative, which we know they will, something that feels like those old collector's editions that made you feel like you are a part of something, then yeah, we'll forgive and forget this debacle from the other day. Either way, we watching, and we'll be talking about it here. Y'all already know. If you made it to the end of this one, appreciate you. And if you're new to the channel, This is what we do over here, actual conversations about GTA. So go ahead and subscribe if this is the kind of video you're into. I appreciate you watching. We're deep into GTA 6 season and we're just getting started. Y'all already know that news is rolling out. Regular Dave Maneuvers got you covered. I'll get at you guys another time. Peace.